Uh,
Hello, everyone. I need just to make sure that you can hear me, right? Okay. Thank you for being here in our talk. My name is Sabine Yacoub, and I am the country manager of Planex Technologies. And I am very excited and proud to be here today for the success story of one of our key clients, GoFresh. I have with me here Abdallah Al Qaoud, the CEO and founder of GoFresh. The floor is all yours, and I'm going to come back later.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, I would like to start by expressing how honored I am to be representing GoFresh, a fruits and vegetable company, in a tech exhibition, an industry where it's known for its simplicity. Today, it's being here awarded as a success story in a tech exhibition. Before I start, I want to give you a quick brief of our business and what we do. The company is 40-year-old, established from my father in 1986, and we kept improving the business from being a wholesaler into all the channels of that industry, jumping into retail, HoReCa, food service, e-commerce. The whole story started from our passion for data. The company has been a data-driven company since inception. And with Odoo today, that pace got accelerated at a faster pace. Our vision was to provide the right product at the right price to the right market. Today, through Odoo and the analysis of stock movement, stock availability, shortages, and all of that, we were able to demand plan the whole consumption through the customer's forecast live through the system. This is generating more business for the grower, cost saving for the consumer, and profits for our investors. Our mission is to empower those chefs and home cook. So we started by focusing on the B2B and B2C. What's their consumption? What is their requirements? What are the technical aspects of each and every product? And making sure that it's always available in a market like Kuwait, where most of the product or the consumption was imported. Eventually, because of Odoo's forecasts, we were able to entertain wholesale and retail during the tough seasons, where there is lack of availability at every seasonal shift. Not only that, we didn't stop here by only the availability. We also went through transforming the whole food supply chain for an importing market. The conventional supply chain starts all the way from all that steps, where from grower to the processor, to the trader, down to the shipping, received by a packer, given to the distributor, and then to the retailer and the end consumer. Imagine how many markups are there in terms of cost, how many storage and handling in terms of quality that is affecting the product itself. What we did or achieved in GoFresh is that faster supply chain from the grower directly to the end consumer, whether it's a restaurant or a retail shop or to the D2C through our e-commerce, saving shelf life for the customer and cost effective. Before Odoo, we used to import from the major hubs of the fruits and vegetable industry. There were only 5 major suppliers to us. Today, we're importing from more than 27 countries, directly from the source, across all content. Imagine a supplier in the Far East in Thailand, or down in South Africa, or in Colombia would know what a small shop in Kuwait wants and when At what volume? By trying to apply all of the applications provided from Odoo, we landed a process where it is effective and efficient to each and every department we have in the company. For example, if we look at warehouse personnel, those stock controllers, their job description became very straightforward and very effective. That warehouse personnel, all he has to do is receive as per the PO, apply his GRN, do his sorting, and transfer as per the transfer request. Those transfer requests are piled up automatically from Odoo through the input of the SOs from our sales team. So his task becomes receive properly as per physical document, sort, and dispatch as per physical document as well. Going next to the operation team, they have an SO already printed, the product in front of them. All they have to do is do the picking and packing very fast, very accurate as per the customer need, and start dispatching. If there is any return, we created another location where a committee happens to determine whether those returns are sellable or not. If it's sellable, it goes back to our warehouse. If not, it would be scrapped from the system. This gives our analysts the way to analyze those returns or those wastages coming from which SO, which client, which channel. Of course, we couldn't do all of those achievements, improving our numbers in a very critical industry where each and every percentage matters, without a partner who's directly involved and understands our business. We all knew that Odoo is a perfect tool, but having that implementer who helps us take advantage of every feature Odoo offers and apply it into our industry was the critical thing. I would like to invite Sabine Yaqub, the country manager of Planix, to explain to talk about her journey as well.
Thank you, Abdullah. Surely it was a long journey together because Okay, now you can hear me. Okay, so I was saying thank you, Abdullah, for this introduction. Definitely, with every ERP, you need the right partner to be able that. It's true that we streamlined all the operations of GoFresh using Odoo ERP, but definitely it was challenging to understand their business processes and to know all the details to be able to apply them on Odoo. I'd just like to go back here if you would like to scan the QR code for the questions at the end of the session. Okay. To tell you more, a bit more about Planix, we are Odoo Gold partner. We are operational in 5 countries: UAE, Lebanon, Kuwait, Qatar, soon to KSA. And we have 3 global awards. We have 100 plus satisfied customer, and this is where the 100% retention rate is coming from. And we are a team of 70 plus experts in Odoo. Now, going back to GoFresh environment, we said that it was a very challenging implementation. And let's remember that we're talking about fruits and vegetables. So imagine these numbers that we have right here, how huge they are over a year. We have 18 or like a bit less than 20,000 contacts on Odoo. We have sales order, the number is 70K plus, so almost over a month, it will be like 5,000. 17,000 plus purchase orders, 250K stock moves that are happening. They are using more than 10 plus applications over Odoo, from procurement to warehouse management to sales, CRM, and all of these, and they have 3,000 plus SKUs. So it's really a hassle to manage all of those, to maintain the implementation that you have, to teach the whole team about everything that is happening over Odoo, because they know their operations, we know Odoo, and this is where the partner's job is to be the bridge of this implementation. Abdullah, you're still here. Of course, when you talk about success stories, it's not an easy journey. So we talk about challenges, we have certain motivation, and we'll later talk about KPIs. So what was the initial motivation for you to think of having an ERP system, and why specifically was it Odoo?
As I mentioned before, the company has been always been data driven. So the main motivation was to have that critical information available live to any decision maker of the company. So why Odoo? Because it's adaptable. However, it's complex. We can take all those technical aspects of the industry and apply it into the data and make it live to any decision maker, whether it's a sales personnel, a purchase personnel. It's always here, always there for him, the data in his pocket. He can pull
With
it
the
from
mobile
his
applications.
iPhone, from his mobile, and whenever he needs it, wherever he is.
And I would say you would be more even motivated having the trust in Odoo that you can open any new line of business, you can scale up your business easily. You have already your implementation up and running, and from there you can go further, of course.
Yes, of course.
So in terms of challenges, let's be frank, we had a lot of challenges. We had some escalations during the implementation, which in some way can be normal, because we have incoming inquiries from the team the whole time. We have the deadline and the go live dates to be set, and so on. What were the challenges for you as GoFresh and as Abdullah to have this ERP up and running for your company?
The challenges is coming from the industry itself. We're dealing with fresh produce that today has value, tomorrow might not. Whether it's wastage, it's yield, it's weight loss, it is different seasonalities, different unit of measures, all of those stuff to be applied in a proper way in the system to make that our decisions be taken correctly and effectively from the first time was the biggest challenge. From that, the controls on who does what and how in the system was also a big challenge to us.
So you had to manage the scrap, the damage. You wanted to check on all figures and all numbers across your system to be able to make the right choices. So even this is a challenge for you, because you are checking the forecast that you have on Odoo, and based on it you need to do all your orders and accept the orders from your clients as well.
Correct. Stock availability was based on that movement as well.
Another challenge, I would say, that the team that is doing the implementation itself, they are also doing the operations at the same time. So
Correct.
they cannot stop either or. They need to make it happen at the same time, understand the tool, get the training, complete the operations from your end. So yeah, definitely there was a lot of challenges in this.
True.
Now, regarding the KPIs, of course, we need some metrics to measure the success. It is a success story, but it is never complete as long as we don't have like the parameters to rely on and to confirm that this was a success and a success story and successful project for you. So we have here a few things we can talk about in terms of return on investment for you, the inventory accuracy. What do you think on Odoo side?
Regarding that, we gained business intelligence where we transmitted that to our executives and managers, where we maintained, if not increased, that growth rate while maintaining cost and getting proper planning and execution. In terms of stock availability and stock, the lead we did in B2C and B2B eventually opened new channels for us in the wholesale and retail. That's coming just because of availability during critical timing.
Exactly, and this is reflected as well on the supplier performance, right?
Exactly. If we recall the mapping of where the footprint of GoFresh, we couldn't increase all of those suppliers from all over the world, if not, it was
From the 27 countries that we're talking about.
exactly.
Exactly. In terms of revenue growth and the cost reduction, how did Odoo help you on this KPI? From the cost reduction, we also have that it is one system, so you have all your applications integrated together instead
Correct.
of using many systems.
Correct.
This is one aspect. What other aspects do
The-
you think contributed?
Our industry have variance at a trend of variance report by end of every month of between 2 to 4% stock loss. However, when we applied Odoo, because of that movement and traceability live, when we aligned that system work with physical work, we were able to achieve 1, if not less, percent in stock variance, which is huge for our industry.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. Is it the end with Odoo?
I-
What do you think is coming next? What's on the roadmap?
I wouldn't be an entrepreneur if I call it the end. I think with a tool like Odoo, a partner like Plenix, sky is the limit, and hopefully by this time next year we have an even bigger success.
Music to our ears, actually. Thank you. We just finished, by the way, the upgrade to Odoo version 16, and of
Correct.
course, we'll be checking the version 17 maybe later on. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Abdallah, for
Thank
this talk, and of course, our success will not stop here. And as
Of
you said,
course.
the sky is the limit. Thank you, everyone. We'll go to the questions. I think we have few questions. Can you just open it on the here? Is there a lot of customizations needed to fulfill the complexity of this industry?
I'll leave it with you.
Actually,
customization.
yes, we have a lot of customizations that are done. Definitely, Odoo covered, let's say, up to 70 to 80% of the industry. But having GoFresh requiring specific inquiries and customizations, this is where we had to do some development over Odoo to make sure that we are covering the whole operations that they have. To Abdallah. What were you using before Odoo, and what do you think is the current challenge with it?
Before Odoo, we were using a very basic accounting system. However, our inventory was always handled external outside the system. Today, with Odoo, I think the challenges is to constantly keep up with upgrades and requirements while maintaining the current, let's say, data accuracy. Upgrades, backups, and all of that should be alive.
Yeah. Another question for you: how do you handle returns if it's not in a sellable condition?
Okay. This is actually gave us an even a more sustainable business. If it's not sellable, let's say it's imperfect, however it's still usable, we launched a manufactured goods where we make fresh juices, where we do fruit cuts and all of that to reduce waste and have a sustainable project. Other than that, our industry will eventually have percentage of wastage. What we're trying to do is to reduce it as much as possible. And I believe today we're at 2%, which is on the low side of the standards of our industry.
Go fresh, go green.
Exactly.
For Plenix, how can you manage an implementation for a similar customer in a country you are not present in? So I would say that we have up to 70 to 80% of the business model that is already there, but definitely we need to check our customer, we need to check our needs, because no company will be exactly like GoFresh. First, they are unique, and second, of course, we need to check the other client, their exact inquiries, and based on the country that they are in, we need to check how adaptable it is for Odoo and what will be the customizations that are needed. Given the long history for you, Abdullah, of the company, how was the digital transition managed and received internally? A lot of resistance, I would say, first.
When you see the result, especially, I remember launching B2B the first time. I had issues with some of our employees where you're taking or utilizing resources for a 20-30 KD invoice where you let go a big PO from a big retailer. We were very direct with our numbers. I made sure that they understand the value of switching between a retailer into a food service through the digitalization of forecasting in a challenge in an industry where its biggest challenge, the transformation of the flow of information from the end user to the grower, especially for a market where it imports everywhere. All it's our need.
Okay, another question for you. You look amazing first. What strategies are in place to address the challenges related to ineffective demand forecasting in the traditional food supply chain?
Again? Say it again.
What strategies are in place to address the challenges related to ineffective demand forecasting in the traditional food supply chain?
We never stop. We constantly look for alternatives. Our industry is known for specific origin dominating certain products. If I couldn't find that product from that origin, we constantly look for alternative. And the reason why it's effective with GoFresh is because we proactively seek that alternative, not when it affects the market.
Yeah. So how many users actually, and in level of customization, how as percentage of using standard features and customization? I think this is related to the first question. We would say 80 to 20 in terms of native versus customization. Another question, is it the customer specifically, or how is the customer specifically using the B2B system? It's through the portal. They have access to the portal on your Odoo system?
Yes, some use theirs, and we have our own data entry to translate it into our SOs, and some they have their own portal and go direct.
Okay. To Sabine, you look beautiful. Thank you. I bet this is Faraj, but I'm not sure. Not you. How do you ensure that the Odoo solutions you implement align not only with our current business needs, but also have the flexibility to adapt to potential future changes or challenges in our industry? So, of course, the solution itself is scalable to a certain point.
Correct.
And whenever we are doing the implementation, we take into account the best practices, because we do consider that later on the company will expand. And this is reflected starting from the users to the integrity and integration of the different modules together. So let's give it the example of GoFresh. They started with B2B, then they had the B2C, and so on. So yeah, this is how it's done. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you.
Our time's up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.